My Restart Kingdom is one of the very first to register for the King of the Nile KvK format. So in this video, we're going to do two things. I'm going to show you the way that the King of the Nile matchmaking works, and we'll get a look at the map together. And the 556 love story and drama continues. Every single day, there's something new in a way that I wouldn't have expected. So let's get started. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and I've been making videos about this new King of the Nile format as soon as we got information about it. That includes the new seasonal strategies, and I actually translated from Russian every single one of those. So if you want to see more information about this KvK format, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest and greatest Rise of Kingdoms news, and I'll remind you of those specific videos later on. The King of the Nile format, by the way, is a 3 war camp per side format. This is a 3v3 map. Now, I have gone in great detail about this map and the layout, but it is important to know that based on the strength of your kingdom, they're either going to set you up with an A kingdom in your war camp or 2 B kingdoms in your war camp. This is classified based on the size of the kingdom, which is probably some combination of player activity and power. So the map you can see on the screen here, and this map gives me a lot of light versus darkness vibes, by the way. Even this whole matchmaking system will look very familiar if you've played light versus darkness before, and you probably have. Now, the one thing that I like about this map compared to light versus darkness is that there is one area at the start, very, very much toward the beginning of the KvK, where you get to fight the enemy kingdom for territory. So, for example, let's say that we are in fact blue, and we end up all the way down over here. Okay, we'll enter in here as the first zone and here. You enter into 2 zones at the start. They are all considered to be level 4 passes. So what that means is that eventually there'll be a duel for this territory over here with this one kingdom off to the side. So every one of these war camps will have a little bit of a territory battle that will take place early on in their KvK, and then they all work toward the center, toward the SIG. Now, you obviously want to make a really strong team when you go into this KvK format, and can you imagine my surprise at bumping into 556 in the team list? Now, Fa and I had actually talked a little bit. He had a few questions for me about how this KvK format works, and at this point, the teams are all formed up. So for those of you wondering, am I going to be fighting against 556? It is entirely possible that on my restart account, I will be fighting against 556. Their team up is listed over here. 1556 is teaming with 1648, 1730, and 2313. But for those of you wondering kind of how this team up phase works, you basically apply to one of the different, I guess we'll call them coalitions. That's certainly not the right word, but one of the teams, okay? And the team can hold, in this case, either 2 A kingdoms and 2 B kingdoms, or they have a CCC DDD lineup. So I assume that means there will be a C kingdom and a D kingdom in each war camp. Now, once we get teamed up, we'll be waiting to see who we get match made against, which takes place, in this case, on the 4th. And then there'll be, I guess, some announcement, and then Eve of the Crusade begins on the 10th. So this is going to be a really fun KvK. There is a very high likelihood that I end up fighting against 556. And that's really like, when you look at the kingdoms that are in here, I actually can search by kingdom. I can search by A class. The kingdom you don't want to fight is 556. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do the matchmaking here. It does look like 1500 is huge as well. They got a 16 billion power alliance. Hello? Okay, well, there are probably a couple kingdoms in here you don't want to end up fighting against, and that's got to be one of them. I mean, unless you're looking for potentially a crazy or one-sided fight. So these are all the A kingdoms. You can see there's a pretty big range of power level from 11 billion power to 16 billion power. Yeah. So it could be that somehow, after many years of fighting against 556, now my restart account may be fighting against 556. We'll find out about that in just a couple days. But if you thought that was the end of the drama with 556, think again. TR will be fighting against VC56 for the crucial 3% training speed city skin. That's right, they are battling for a top 4 spot in Osiris League, and somehow 556 has been pitted against 254 yet again. And the crazy thing is that I don't actually know which team is favored here. Obviously, I will skew toward thinking that, my team in 254 is going to get the W. But I think that a lot of people are looking at this betting here, and they see that 556 has more power. They see that 556 had a couple blowouts because I guess these teams didn't really show up. And so a bunch of people are dropping Oryx on 556. Now, even if you think that this fight is even in nature, I think we can all agree that the better place to put your Oryx right now is on TR. There is a strangely Oryx favored skew here for TR. So not only do I think that TR is going to win, they may not, but not only do I think they're going to win, but also just from an Oryx standpoint, it's a really great place to put some Oryx. So yeah, I'll earmark this now on my restart. We'll probably do a stream later in the week for all the places to put your Oryx. But this seems like, based on the way the betting's going now, a pretty safe spot to go. Of course, I need to sprinkle in just a little bit of community drama to break up the 556-254 drama with some bad news, good news. Big thanks to Vis for sending me this picture. I don't know where this came from. Well, I guess it's Kingdom probably 1872 or 2872. This person says, my wife, who is soon to be my ex-wife, has decided to file a divorce since she caught me using her savings account for this game. However, I am still your king. Okay, so good news. I will activate the building speed buff at 4 UTC. In the next 20 hours after building speed, I will reactivate training speed. Please take advantage. Damn. I mean, this guy knows all about taking advantage. He took advantage of his wife's savings account and, got busted in the process. So, just a couple thoughts here. First of all, good time to remind you to consider your financial and IRL priorities. It's probably not worth it to get divorced, stealing money from your wife's savings account to pay for Rise of Kingdoms. Just gonna throw that out there. Last thing we can talk about is, of course, the Ceroli Assault, which is live now. If you haven't ever done this before, this is something that you just zerg down the boss, and it's really easy. Don't be one of those chumps who picks tank and then doesn't do any debuffing. If you're gonna pick tank, you gotta pick the debuffs, okay? You gotta go over here. You gotta pick this one right over here, Shatter Armor. Don't be one of those chumps who uses literally anything else. And don't be one of those people who's like the 5th tank. There doesn't need to be 5 tanks, okay? There only needs to be literally 1 tank or 0 tanks, okay? Same is true with the healing spec. There is a way to run this healing spec over here that's really solid. If we look at the settings over here, you either gotta pick the damage buff and the group heal. You do one or the other, okay? So here's Dazzling Land. Big heal's really, really good. Damage buff is really good. You don't need to have 3 people that are all healers that all pick Blood Drinker because it doesn't stack. So don't be the 10th healer, okay? You only need one of those damn things, all right? I'm going to switch back to DPS. We hit ready, and you literally just zerg this thing down. People don't even pay attention. They just swing in at the start, and I'll just do that as well, just to show you. So we hit the boss. We select. We go to the troops. We hit the preset. We run it out. Ideally, Joan of Arc's primary is really good here because she's got support tree. She really runs out there really quickly, I think. I say that, and then, hey, I teleport and I'm hitting the boss. Okay, poggers. Cool. And here we go. We fight the boss. You zerg it down. It's super simple. One person's giving debuffs, which is good. Savage Attack's a great debuff. I don't know if we even have any tanks. We have a tank, but the tank didn't pick the debuff ability that makes this go a lot faster. All right, it is what it is. This is super easy, even on hell difficulty. You just zerg this thing down. I think actually, the easier levels of difficulty, it's harder because you can't be as overpowered and overtuned as you can at hell difficulty. I mean, this is designed for the 50 million power players, and you got really old account 85s that show up here and just clap cheeks. So we're going to knock this thing down in just a second. It's going to say enter the veil. We're not going to enter the veil. If you had better debuffing and buffing from support, oh, somebody said hi, Chisgule. This is even easier in that case. And look at that, MVP. Damn, couldn't have dreamed this up any better than how it went. And for the record, this is how you get a few more of those extra coins to spin on Esmeralda. So we go over here, we redeem this, and I got 2 of them now. We'll take our 2 spins here because what the heck, let's go for the victory lap. We got MVP. I even got really lucky getting one of the special tiers over here previously. So let's get one of these special tiers and really hit the home run, okay? What do we got? Come on! Okay, not going to get it. GG. If you enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, throw a like on here, subscribe to the channel. You're not going to want to miss the King of the Nile gameplay from this account, and it's entirely possible we're fighting 556. I mean, don't you want to see if that's going to happen? So subscribe to the channel, and if you're looking for more information about the new KvK format, or heck, even if you want to see more of these spins on the Esmeralda's Prayer, I'm going to have cards in the end screen, boom, here and here in just a second.